put it into sport mode, it will simulate 7 simulated gears.
Ladies and gentlemen,
torque brake to about 2,300 RPM.
Everyone
and go. No wheel spin.
Who even cares about the Acura Integra has probably seen a lot of the journalist impressions out there. The embargo, or the driving impressions of the 2023
0 to 60 in 8
Acura
seconds.
Integra.
And it may have been slightly
like
downhill.
9 o'clock Eastern time this morning.
CVT is not going to be,
and so
in theory,
it's been a lot of fun to read what people are saying, read the comments.
I'm just going
you hear
to
a lot
put
of good, a lot of indifferent,
drive.
a lot of mixed feelings, some bad. It's a lot of fun, and I'm just really happy. Like, this car is already shipping to dealers, if not already at dealers. So it's gonna be fun to see them actually on the streets here in the near future. I'm seeing a lot of TLXs where I live, MDXs. Oh my gosh, that's the best Acura right there. Integra is pretty cool,
right there. It's one
but
of the better feeling
MDX is still the best Acura. And I'm not counting the NSX because that's like a unicorn, which I do see them down here, of course, in South Florida as well.
I'm not in
So
sport mode and go.
Hopefully you guys can hear me.
It acts like it kind of downshifts, but then takes right off.
Maybe.
So it definitely is a good match
working
for this 1.5 liter turbo engine with 200 horsepower and over 190 pound-feet of torque. We also have paddle shifters in here. So
the review's talking at the same time as me. Oh, okay, that's what it is. There we go. How's that? So actually, what was playing in the background? Sorry, guys. Like, I'll show you. Here's my OBS, and like I don't know what it's talking about, but the video was playing down here at the bottom, and I couldn't see this volume.
Pretty good. They almost feel.
So, anyways, sorry about that, guys. There's I don't live stream enough, and I'm doing some new things. Like, guys, putting in video like this is new for me. Even the intro screen. If I go back to the intro screen, all this was sort of new for me, kind of having like a slideshow going, a B-roll. But anyways, I'm going to be playing some Forza 7 with the old school Integras, racing around, trying to answer some questions, just hanging out with you guys. What you have playing at the bottom left of your screen is actually tomorrow's video, which is going to be the CVT impressions. I don't know how many people have posted CVT impressions yet. If you have questions about it, I mean, I can answer it, but I'm excited to be here with you guys to talk about the new Integra. And is that a yellow Type R from Gran Turismo? No, I'm playing Forza. So hopefully we're Redline did for a bit of his video. Okay, for the CVT, he probably like inserted some CVT driving impressions. Sykes of Pop is here. Good to see you guys. Thanks for coming out. Where is everyone coming from today? Where are you guys coming out from? And are you excited for the new Integra? Are you interested in driving one? Maybe buying one? There's a lot of things going through my head about this vehicle. Type S is recirculating all the time in my head. I want that vehicle so bad. So for a lot of the people out there who find this vehicle underwhelming, there are some things that are underwhelming about this vehicle. Watch my CVT impressions tomorrow. But you got to remember the Integra by itself, not talking like Type R, but the Integra wasn't, I mean, it didn't come like as a racing car, guys. It came as like a mass market, fun to drive car. And you can say that same characteristic is in this new Integra. So I'm really excited for the Type S because I wanted more. I would just, if you guys saw my driving impressions of the manual, just kept wanting more power from it. And we know it's coming. It's got to be coming. I asked Acura, I'm like, hey, what was the time frame from when you had the TLX, at dealers, and then when did the Type S TLX come to dealers? So they're like, oh, it was a 9-month wait. I'm like, okay, I'll talk to you guys in 9 months, and I'm excited to see an Integra Type S. But of course they can't say anything. They can't say anything about future products. But yeah, it has to be coming. Absolutely has to be. Where's that dealer leak? This dealer leak has proven to be 100% accurate so far. This thing got leaked in 2019. New compact sedan, aka Integra. Yeah, there's a Type S version of it. We've already got Type S MDX, TLX Type S. Now we are just waiting for this guy. So very, very pumped for it. And look, guys, look at the volume that they're expecting of the new Integra. It's not much. You know, they're expecting 35,000 units per year, just like the new TLX. They're expecting the vast majority to come from the MDX and RDX. So this vehicle is not going to be super mass market. The ILX wasn't a big time seller. And I think, yeah, it's just crossovers is the name of the game. They've made this vehicle more approachable for the mass market with it being a hatchback. The practicalities there, just doesn't have all-wheel drive. Do I wish I had all-wheel drive? Absolutely. Would that increase the weight to it? Yeah, it would. Would it make it slower? Probably. So, and I don't think we're going to see like a super handling all-wheel drive on the Type S either. I think they're going to stick to the tried and true formula, front wheel drive, high performance, and you know, with the Civic Type R coming out, we don't know power numbers. Of course, it's going to use the same 2-liter turbo, but it's like, you know, are they going to change the power output on it? I highly doubt it. It might be a little bit more, but I'm not going to get my hopes up too much. Would they give us that same 300 plus horsepower setup in this vehicle? There's a chance. I think it's a 50-50. I think there's a possibility that they detune it a little bit, kind of give us the Accord's 270 plus horsepower variant of it. I think that's a possibility. And that would also keep prices down on it as well, in theory. Or, I don't know. What do you guys think? I guess I could create a poll. Yeah, it'll have a 10-speed. No, it's not going to have a 10-speed. Integra Type S will not have 10-speed. Oh, geez. My microphone just fell off, so bear with me. It's in a weird position that I usually don't have it in, so hold on. I might just have to fix it another time. It's more work intensive than I thought it would be. So it's kind of jury rigged. Just kind of hanging by a thread. So hopefully you guys can hear me with my microphone just like hanging around my camera. And it looks super huge on my camera right now because it is really close to it. But as long as you guys can hear me, that's all that matters. So which Forza am I going to play? I'm going to play Forza 7. So Knight Rider's thinking manual transmission, which I totally agree. I think it's only going to be manual transmission on Type S. And he's saying it's going to have super handling all-wheel drive. I don't think it will. I'd love to be wrong. Do I want to see it? Absolutely. I just don't think it's going to happen. Type S is probably only going to come in manual. All right, well, I'm going to start running around a track a little bit and have some fun here driving these old Integras. I'm going to turn down the volume in these headphones here. There we go. Did I get to see the car in black? Actually, I did. I think there was one model there, excuse me, that wasn't black. I think it looks better in silver, gray, blue. I haven't seen it in red. And a color that it should have is this yellow color that is, you know, iconic on the Integra Type R. So I just wish there was a yellow, but you know it's going to be like a Type S exclusive is the yellow, and maybe like Long Beach blue, kind of like that light powder blue color. So any chances we'll see super handling all-wheel drive? No. I think that the chances are extremely... Wait, what am I doing here? Oh, okay, I finished this. All right. You know, they have the Honda Odyssey in this game. It is super silly. Trying to see if I have any vehicle. Oh, I've already completed that. Ooh, this will be fun. But that's Porsche 918. I'll do it anyways. I'll do it anyways.
It's the only thing that matters in this challenge.
Saren 2 did one in white with red interior. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I saw a white one. Tiger Eye Pearl on Type S. Yeah, you know, that didn't even cross my mind. Tiger Eye Pearl wasn't on this vehicle, so of course it's going to be on the Type S as well, just like it's exclusive Type S on the MDX and TLX.
Car brands, the ones that are revered.
Good point.
Most of them have proven themselves time and time again on the track.
Here.
Porsche have a reverence because of the breadth of capabilities that they've delivered on the race.
A Honda minivan's on this game, yes. Did I meet up with Car Confections, Drew and Mason? Yes, I did. Hung out with those guys the last night a little bit, and Joe and Lori, I didn't see them. They're on the second wave. I think Sarah was on the second wave too. I was there with Sofian. I had Savage Geese there. Mark's really good at ping pong. Took me back behind the house a couple times with that paddle. Who else? A lot of cool people. I met Tyson. He's really big into the Acura scene. He's got that, what was it, the 80, is it the 89 Integra that I had like that social media post on, and he brought that there. I'm sure I'm forgetting a ton of people, but okay. Would I recommend the base Integra or the Civic Touring? Ooh. You know, I haven't driven the base Integra, but I might recommend the Civic Touring over it, to be honest. You get real leather in the Civic Touring. I think you might actually have more amenities in that vehicle. It's not going to look nearly as sick, though. And that's the greatest selling point for the non-manual transmission, should I say, the CVT Integras, is that they look really good. They look upscale, they look sporty, they look like a half generation newer than the current Acura products. So Civic Touring, I'd probably say, unless you really want that good looking vehicle. Civic's not a bad looking vehicle, it's actually really attractive. The Integra is a better looking vehicle. So I guess I'm supposed to be passing just beetle bugs in this challenge. Do you think Toyota, before everything goes BEV, will produce something not quite like this vehicle, but have electrified hybrid powertrains that are as good as this? Do you think that's going to happen? Do you think we're going to see a sort of like, because Acura's done with hybrids. They've killed them completely. They're going to go full battery electric. But do you think Toyota's got some high performance hybrids coming down the hatch? I think they do. I think they do. I mean, there's rumors of the LFA, like an LFA successor being, but we'll see. All right, let me see what your questions are. When will Honda redesign the Accord? We're probably 2 years out. It could be late next year. Guys, think of what we're getting this year. This is super weird for like a mass market brand to have like 3 new redesigns in a year. You have HRV, you have CRV, and you have Pilot. That's a lot in 1 year. And possibly like Civic Hybrid. That could be on the market by the end of the year. So high performance Mirai, it's not gonna happen. LFA alternative. So yeah, if they have a solid state battery, they might try to show it off with a high performance vehicle. I agree. Did I drive the CVT? Yes, I did drive the CVT. How was the driving experience? It was average. Like if you have, to me, like the manual is the only way I would personally buy the Civic. I'm sorry, the Civic as well as the Integra. So I would only buy manual transmission of either of those cars. It just makes it a much more fun driving experience, more engaging, and a faster. Like it's just better in every single way than the CVT. And the CVT, and it's not bad. It's one of the better CVTs on the market, but it's still a CVT. So yeah, my recommendation is get the manual if you know how to drive a manual, even if you have to spend a little bit more, or just go with the Civic Si, because that vehicle is a little bit lighter. It's got the summer tires. Hopefully you live in a warmer climate where you can actually use them. But yeah, hatchback is more functional as well than the Civic Si as well. So what do I think will be in the new RX? A lot of stuff. Interior better be more upscale than NX. If that doesn't happen, then I'm going to be very disappointed. I'm pretty confident on the powertrains that I've talked about in my videos. So when is Hyundai having a media event for the Palisade? I don't think they're going to have a media event for the refresh Palisade. I don't think it's going to happen. Typically, manufacturers don't do media events for refreshes. Whoops. I don't know, how many am I supposed to, I'm supposed to pass 46. Okay. Oh, power slide. Oh, right in the back of it. Whoops. Will the new Integra be available with a blue interior? Not that I know of, unless they would do something crazy for the Type S. I think you mentioned wishing the steering wheel was a bit stiff. How does the steering wheel the steering feels very similar to the SI. Like it's the same technology, the same sort of setup. I prefer it to be a little bit more stiff. So, and that doesn't change with the Honda version either. Thoughts on the ELS sound system compared to the Bose and the Civic? Yeah, it's just a little bit more clear. They're both loud. ELS isn't the loudest system. They just sound good even when you crank it. So it does sound better than the Bose, but for the average person and even myself, I'm not that big of an audiophile. So like if it's loud and doesn't sound like crap, I'm happy. So the Bose is pretty good for the average person, I would say. But if you're an audiophile, you're gonna appreciate the ELS. What about pricing for Type S? 42K? Yeah, it's probably 5K more. 5K more than the A-Spec technology. Romero, Blackstock, hey Kirk, have you heard anything about a redesigned Lexus RC? I haven't. I think RC could be dead. So haven't heard anything about RC. Is the Integra worth over a CLA? Yeah, for sure. I mean, it depends on who you're asking. If you plan on owning it, then yes, because it's going to be more reliable. And it's going to be way more fuel efficient, which is super important nowadays, right? So yeah, it's going to have the German smashed on reliability. Overall features for the price as well. Oh shit, I did not see that guy. Now the vehicle's pulling to the right. I just have to pass a few more. Yeah, I would take it over the Germans because you'd have to spend a lot more money on the Germans to get the same safety equipment, same features. And none of them are going to touch the fuel economy. And with gas prices, they're just out of control. So, Jake, what's up, Jake? Why is MPG in the RDX subpar with 10-speed auto? I don't know why the fuel economy is so bad in the RDX. It is a bit of a mystery. It might be super brickish down the highway. It might not be very aerodynamic at all, but on the flip side, people are getting terrible fuel economy with that vehicle in town. So aerodynamics are not really a factor in town. Yeah, it's a tough one. Like, I almost wish Acura didn't kill off their hybrids because they could be using them to their advantage right now with the fuel the fuel prices. So thanks, man, for the $2. I that is a mystery. If you guys have any idea why the fuel economy is so bad on the RDX, let me know. But I drove it like a baby and it was only getting like 21 miles per gallon. Do I prefer the RDX or NX? Well, RDX has a lot more space, but for that class, I'm picking the NX hybrid. It has close enough power and performance than the turbocharged NX and even the turbocharged competitors, but it gets double the fuel economy. So why wouldn't you go that route? Type S Redline. You never drove the CVT in the review. The CVT driving impressions is in tomorrow morning's video. It has its own separate video. So I'm not gonna just put both videos out in one day, but yeah, just stay tuned. 9 a.m. Eastern time, it should be up. And if you want to see my full thoughts on it and driving impressions there, you can. Am I doing a live stream on the 31st? No, because I'll be in a like a conference room watching the Lexus RX be revealed. So I won't be doing a live stream. Ray says, I'd say Type S would have 305 horsepower, 6-speed manual and 10-speed auto, super handling all-wheel drive. 305 horsepower is a possibility. I don't think super handling all-wheel drive is. I'd love to be wrong, though. Oh, I leveled up here. All right, guys. What do you want? I know what I would be picking. I'd be picking the credits. But would you guys want the Challenger or this cool outfit for the guy? Because I get to pick after leveling up. 40,000 credits, Challenger, or a red camo outfit. Mopar's overrated. Yep, maybe. Tim says, I literally wake up to your videos. Thanks, Tim. Appreciate you. Appreciate all you guys coming out. Just a quick live stream to see if you guys had any questions about the good old Acura Integra that is now back on the market. Well, Direct 4, okay, so Romero has a really good question. Speaking of super handling all-wheel drive, I wonder how Lexus Direct 4 would stack up against Acura super handling all-wheel drive. Direct 4 does not stack up against it. It's completely different technology, but what does stack up against it is Lexus's new torque vectoring. Even you can say Toyota's, because that same technology is in the new 2023 Highlander. Their upper packages get the torque vectoring all-wheel drive system. That's more of a direct competitor to super handling all-wheel drive. Direct 4 is completely different because there's no drivetrain that goes to the rear wheels. There's going to be an E-motor in the back. Now, I don't have like confirmation on this, but I'm like 99% sure. We'll find out right when the RX 500H is revealed. So Direct 4 can either be in a hybrid or an electric vehicle. We know it's going to be in the RZ, and we also know it's going to be in the RX 500H. And it has to have it has to have an electric motor to power the rear wheels. Let's see, what do you guys say? Credits, outfit. Outfit. I saw 2 people pick the outfit. All right.
You'll be able to wear it whenever you choose.
Direct 4 is inferior, no torque vectorings. That's true. It's not going to have true torque vectoring because it's just a single motor. But it'll have simulated torque vectoring by using the brakes. But the torque distribution and power distribution could be vastly different than what we have like with super handling all-wheel drive system. We'll see. We don't know enough about it, to be honest. It's hard to say. What color do you think the Integra looks best in? Yellow, and we don't have a yellow one. I would say blue. I'd probably pick blue. That'd be the color I would get it in. I have one picture of it in blue. This was like the opening night when we were there. They had a really delicious like blueberry gin drink that they were serving us. And this one was pretty cool. It had like carbon fiber mirror caps on it. Yeah, it's a good looking car, guys. The Orchid interior is only available on the A-spec models. It's a good looking car. I've reached a new collection tier. Okay. Ooh, Fair Lady Z, 69. Yellow like the NSX I saw. Yeah, that was an NSX Type S, by the way. And that was there for the event. So I saw it later that day when I was at lunch. Rank the Integra, Civic hatchback, and Civic sedan. Well, if no prices in there, the Integra is better than all of them by quite a bit. The road noise insulation and wind insulation is so much better on that car. But when you factor in pricing, it becomes tricky because the Civic is it's a really good driver's car overall. What am I doing? Am I even? Hold on. Mercedes-Benz, Formula E. I just need to do like one more race and I get to go into the next tier here. But it's locked. I have not played this game like at all, only during live streams. When do you think we'll see a new Civic Type R? Well, it's this summer. It's 100% guaranteed. And stay tuned because I'm like 99.9% sure I'll be driving it. So can't wait. I've never drove the previous, or should I say the current Type R. So I'm ready for my mind to be blown.
These are the cars the manufacturers build for the factory's racing teams to win at the track. In some cases, they get promoted to flagship status. And if a car company can't show up...
Hate all the dialogue in this story mode. When do you think you'll see the new Civic? Oh yeah, I already answered that. Black Bear, what does handling and steering feel Integra compare to Lexus IS? IS feels like a much more solid vehicle, a bigger vehicle, heavier vehicle. Is it really bigger in terms of dimensions? Probably not, but it feels, the feel in the inside when you're driving it hard is a little bit more tankish. They both have fairly light steering feels. Handling capability is completely different because you're comparing a front wheel drive to a rear wheel drive car. So it's like apples to oranges. Yeah, Ray's like, I was expecting it to be a better handling SI rather than a nicer riding SI. But yeah, it's more of a premium car, so it's going to be a nicer riding vehicle. It just would have been nice to have an extra 20, 30, 40 horsepower, right? How does the handling, let's see here. Daryl, do you think the next model year will get a panoramic moonroof or sunroof? Our liftback options? I highly doubt it. I highly doubt it. I don't see a panoramic roof coming to that vehicle. Did I get to see it at night? Kind of. I mean, this was in the dark-ish, right? This is in a darker place. And I see Toyota taking the 3-cylinder, tuning it for economy purposes, and pair it with a hybrid. That's possible for not economy purposes. I see it for performance purposes. I don't see that 3-cylinder turbo ever being used for anything other than performance. It's a very exclusive engine. It's only in one car right now until the GR Corolla comes out. Formula E. We got some electric cars. Whatever. I'll just purchase the first one I see. There is an illuminated dealer installed option for the badge. Oh man, 180 credits. 180,000 credits for this. Toyota made a 3JZ from 2. What? Could they? Maybe. It's not gonna happen. There's a much greater chance of Toyota using Mazda's inline six than them sticking together two GR Yaris engines. You hear this? Guys, this is the future. Do you hear this buzzing noise? This is the future, guys. They all sound like vacuum cleaners. That power slide almost perfected it. How boring is Motorsports going to be? Like, you can't even hear the cars? Oh my gosh, I don't want to think about it. Is this going to be the future? No, I think synthetic fuels or biofuels is the future of motorsports. I think that makes more sense. I know Nissan has a Formula E team, but I don't know of any. I mean, I'm sure other European companies have them, but isn't it weird? I actually have gears in this electric car. I guess that makes sense for a racing electric car, but for your average consumer car, you're lucky to have 2 speeds. Oh, geez. That was ugly. All right. Formula Dustbuster, exactly. What if they just sound like subway trains? Well, subway trains... It's hard to know what a subway train sounds like because it has like the echo, right? It has that echo chamber effect going on. It makes them probably sound better than they actually do. King Manny. I like to think that Concept GT3 is a new Toyota branded supercar sports car because Lexus already have... No, the LC500 is not a supercar or a sports car. It's a GT cruising car. Toyota is more than likely giving that GT3 concept, like, I would say 80% chance that vehicle comes to Lexus instead of Toyota. The GT3 concept that was unveiled at the Tokyo Auto Salon. How's adaptive cruise and lane keep? It's really good. Yeah, the safety features on the new Civics are really good, and that same technology is, they call it what, Acura Watch. Yeah, it's really good. I enjoy using it. Lane keep's great on it. The radar cruise control is pretty good. I had a lot of driving in the manual transmission, and not so much in the CVT. I probably had about 30 minutes in the CVT. But the safety features will be even, or the radar cruise control will be even better in the CVT, right? Because it can bring the car to a stop. Can't do that with a manual. You'll kill the engine. Well, if you just expect it. Yeah, right? So it's a little bit different. This car feels so weird. Even on a video game, this car feels weird. Gosh. I do that every time on that turn. I'm not doing well. Is a CVT fun? How about it? Yeah, it's a bit drony. You'll see in tomorrow morning's video. It's a bit drony. Is a CV ton? Yeah, it can be fun. I had some fun in it. Oh gosh. Straight into that tire wall. Is it half as fun as the manual? Probably. It's probably about half as fun as the manual. The CVT is going to be the volume seller more than likely, right? Because the manual is only available in the top package, costs the most. A-Spec is going to be 80%, including A-Spec technology, of the packages produced. So let's say they sell... Oh, well, I'm trying to do math while I'm driving. It's not good. Say 20,000 Integras. 80% of that, what is 80% of that? 16,000 are going to be A-Specs. And the 4,000 would be the base model. We don't know how much of that is going to be manual equipped. Very few. I'd probably say like 10% of the total amount. Why don't I think the CT wasn't a sales success for Lexus or Toyota? I think it was, especially in Europe and in Asia, just not here. The car was way too underpowered. And that's why they killed the UX200, because it was like just too underpowered, not good enough. It's just not a good enough vehicle to be called a Lexus, the UX200 in my opinion. That's why they're only offering it hybrid now. And the CT was very small for our market. The UX still extremely small, but it's a little bit higher off the ground for the target base in America. So it's a better marketed vehicle. It's a better executed vehicle for our market than the CT. And it has all-wheel drive. CT doesn't have all-wheel drive. I was driving around Austin, the new Integra. I had a blast. I think I took a road I wasn't supposed to in the manual, so you guys saw that video today. Had a lot of fun. It's a hilly area. There are a lot of turns around Austin. It's beautiful. It's a cool place. Saw a lot of Teslas there because headquarters of Teslas and the new Gigafactories there. So yeah, good food, good landscape. 0 to 60 times. Okay, Danny Alex. Well, it's not a fast car. It's a fun car to drive because it's nimble, it's light. Manual transmission is a peach. It is a fun car. It's not a fast car. It also has all-season tires that those Continental contacts. Like, I'm not a tire expert. I just know those tires were garbage. Like, they're not good tires compared to the Civic Si anyways with those summer tires. So 0 to 60, like, and I was on just like crummy country roads. So like I did a manual 0 to 60 and I got like, I think it was around like 9 seconds. I'm like, I just threw it out. I'm like, this is not what the car is capable of. The tires are holding it back. It was like 95 degrees that day. I have no idea how hot it was on that asphalt. The road quality, like I said, was bad. So it was just like I had a lot of factors going against me. So I'm like, yeah, 9 seconds. This car can go faster. It's probably in the low 7s, in best case scenario, right? The CVT you'll see tomorrow. I do a couple runs, and I had that closer to low 8s, and I think that's probably accurate. Low 8s for that vehicle with the CVT because it doesn't launch nearly as hard as the manual, so the tires aren't as important. So yeah, there's no true touch interface, guys. That is a huge reason that so if you watch my RDX review, the 2022 refresh RDX review, like, I don't like this interior. I like the panel roof, that's great. I like the Orchid interior, which is a nice addition for the 2022 refresh. It was too busy. Hate the drive select buttons on it. And the true touch interface is, you can get used to it, but when the Integra has a touchscreen that works so much easier, there's no learning curve. Like, come on. So anyways, it is what it is. Are the air vents better than the R? Yes, the AC works a lot better in the Integra. I'm pretty sure. I'm trying to remember because I was so focused on filming my impressions, I wasn't focused on the AC. But I think it is better than the RDX. Could be that it's a smaller cargo space, like cabin space too. So, interior materials impressions. Interior materials are good. They're good. That's what you expect for the price point, I guess, around in the 30s. Right now I have a Kona inline in the driveway, and the materials on the inside are garbage. Straight garbage. I won't say it like that in the review, right? I gotta be a little bit more professional, but materials on that, it's fun to drive. Having a lot of fun driving that little inline Kona. Actually more fun than I had driving the inline Elantra. Don't know why. I think it's because it's that surprise factor that the Kona N has. It's like, what the hell? This car handles. It shouldn't be handling like this. Shouldn't feel like this for an SUV. So, anyways. Thinking of trading your Golf R 7.5 manual. Disappointed with the Volkswagen gearbox. Yeah. Test drove SI 2022. Love the shifter in the auto red match. Yeah, dude. I I hear you. Like, yeah, the Golf R is way faster. The gearbox, I haven't driven a Golf R, but I've driven the GLI recently that has a 6-speed. And I know those gearboxes are fairly similar. Not an expert on Volkswagens, by the way, so don't roast me. I'm back. Kirk gone for a little. Okay, thanks, Joseph. But yeah. No, the manual trans, yeah, the thing is, like, I'm not out there racing people. I don't really care how fast cars are. I want my car to be fun. That's why I like the MX-5 so much. Like, that car is just like, just happiness for me. The Civic Si comes close. The Integra isn't quite as fun, but it rides a hell of a, it's good. It's just a better daily driver, though. It's a better daily driver. What trim? Does a trim come? No, the only trim that comes with the LSD is a 6-speed manual A-Spec technology package. You cannot get the LSD on the CVT. I still have a Prius, and I was driving home from the Integra event on the interstate. Massive rock came out of nowhere. There wasn't anyone around me. I don't know where this rock came from. The next car was probably like 60 feet ahead. No, probably like 60 yards ahead of me. Massive rock hits the Prius's windshield. Didn't see any cracks. Wake up the next day, there's a crack in the center of the windshield after that Integra event coming back from Austin. I'm like, no. I don't drive the car that much anyways. Don't drive it that much because I'm driving press cars most of the time, but it still sucks. I don't want to replace that windshield. Is a TLX Type S fun? Yeah, it's fun when you want it to be. It's not always fun. It's a heavier car. Like I feel like the Integra 6-speed manual is always fun. Is it as fun as the SI? Not quite. But the trade-off is nicer interior, way quieter interior as well. So, and it looks better. Driven by Fate just got here, received the Elantra N. How does it compare? Elantra N. Elantra, in terms of fun factor and technology, like the Elantra N beats the Integra for sure. And in speed and performance, there's no comparison. Like the Elantra N is one of my favorite vehicles for fun cars on the market. And for $32,000, like, it is an absolute steal. So and anyone I've talked to who's got the Elantra N has had no regrets. That car is amazing. The only downfall for me with the Elantra N is that I think it's ugly. I don't mind the back end, it's a little much. The side, it's okay. The front end, in my opinion, is very ugly. And so when you're spending that much money, well, yeah, it's $32,000. It's cheap for a new car, but it's still a lot of money for the average person. Like, the front end just is ugly to me. So, yeah. There's my thoughts on the Elantra, and love that car, though. I think maybe time to upgrade my vehicles more modern Toyotas. Here's the thing. Could I buy new vehicles? Yes. Do I want to? Sort of. Yeah, I could. The thing is that they keep running. The new car market is a headache I don't want to have to deal with right now. I could buy used vehicles as well. What else? Oh yeah, saving for a house. But the market's not good for that either. So it's kind of in a holding pattern for major purchases right now. Cars keep running, fine. I changed in the past year. I've done a lot to keep the van still going, still drives and runs well. So yeah, there's no real like pressure for me to get a new car anytime soon. And the thing is, if I buy a new car, like let's say I buy a Miata, I'm never going to get a chance to drive because I'm always driving press cars. I need to crank out reviews. I get 2 press cars a week. So I can't really enjoy driving my own cars, even if I have a fun one. The most important thing would be safety for my family and kids, and a new minivan would be the next purchase more than likely. So Jonathan, hi Kirk, what about the throw of the front air vents for the rear passengers? Are there any air vents below the front seats facing the rear? I don't think there are rear air vents in this vehicle. Which is I don't think I mentioned in my review, but I'm like almost positive there are no air vents in the back. Do I even have B-roll? So there's the USBs in the back. We have USBs. I don't think we have rear air vents. And that is definitely a disappointment in my opinion for a premium vehicle to not have air vents in the back. I'm not gonna like. There's one way I could find out, and here I'll have to mute. Hold on. I have evidence. I just don't have the right B-roll for it. I fold down the seats in the back. Hold on. It's in the next. Oh, I can't see. Can't see it. Actually, I think there's also another view of me showing my legs for B-roll. I know I got it. I know I have. See, yeah, there's no vents. There it is. No vents. That's a big bummer. And I do remember driving my kids around in the Civic Si and them getting hot. So AC is not the greatest, and it's probably not the best for pushing air to the rear passengers. So yes, it is quiet relatively on the highway. It's much quieter than the Civic and other competitors. Or should I say non-luxury competitors is much quieter. Zonk. Isn't that a Rady term? That should be trademarked by Rady, right? We're talking about the Ford Windstar. I'm okay if the Ford Windstar never comes back. You know, they have their electric vans now. Their e-transits. Practicality-wise, which is the best minivan overall? Well, right now it's no doubt the Sienna because it gets double the fuel economy of everyone else. Like that, to me, it's a no-brainer. Like until there's a competitor, and I'm not counting the Chrysler Pacifica plug-in hybrid. You guys could, but I would never drive a vehicle that I don't cover on the channel, essentially. All right. I think I have a race waiting for me. Oh, shoot. It started already. Whoops. Have I played the racing game Blur? I don't think so. I've heard of it. Sienna is least practical. I don't like the bridge in the middle. I don't like that you can't remove the rear seats. I don't like the DVD or the lack of DVD system in it. But double the fuel economy like trumps all that, and you can get it in all-wheel drive. So unfortunately, there's no perfect minivan right now. Even if, oh gosh, this is bad. So how does the drive relate to the SI? The SI is a little bit more fun to drive, but the Integra with nicer interior is a much better driving experience on a daily basis because it's also quieter and smoother. Way quieter than the Civic Si. Best family car is the CX-9. It depends on who you're asking. It does not work for my family. It's too small. I'm very excited for the CX-90 though. Have I met Rady? Yes, I know Joe very well. Joe and Lori, yeah, I see them at almost every event I go to. I didn't see them at the Integra event. And they only live like 2.5 hours from me in Tampa. Jesus car. Does it feel similar to the SI in terms of acceleration? Yes, it feels very similar. You're talking like probably 2 to 3 tenths of a second in terms of 0 to 60. No one's going to feel that difference. Yeah, the power feels identical, acceleration feels identical. Grip does not, because I've only driven the SIs with those really nice summer tires, and the Integra only comes with all-season tires. Have I met Matt Moran? Yeah, absolutely. Last time I saw Matt was at GR Corolla reveal. And the time before that, I met him last year at Toyota HQC. And I'll probably see him again this year there. Matt's a really cool dude. Like, one of the nicest. And same with Joe. Like, almost all these YouTubers I meet are just, like, the nicest people. So I'm very, very lucky to be, like, in the same room, like, rubbing elbows with these legends, in my opinion. Like, I'm kind of one of the new kids on the block. Oh, I also saw, you guys might know from TFL, Tommy. Tommy was there at the Integra event. I see him every now and then. I've seen him like 3 or 4 times at these events. So Sophian I see most of the time. Alex and Autos I see most of the time as well. And those are just the YouTubers. There's a lot of like website media guys like Motor One, Car and Driver, those guys. I do see them and know a lot of them as well, so. How does a Corolla hatchback compare to the Civic Si? It doesn't. The Civic Si is a driver's car. The Corolla is a cool looking practical car. How about that? Gosh, this electric car is so weird. Was Forrest there? No, I haven't seen Forrest since last year. I met him at my first ever event, which was the Acura TLX Type S. But Forrest may have been there in the second wave. Forrest is a really cool dude. He started on YouTube and he gave me pointers like when I was just first starting out. And then he decided to go to the TikTok route for most of his stuff, and he's really good at that. So I think he's like in Arizona now. So I know he was in Texas and he went to California and then went to Arizona. I think that's where he's at. Yes, Car Confections was there. Hung out with those guys, Drew and Mason. They're really cool dudes. Super nice guys. The Sequoia driving event is next week during HQC. Yes, I will drive it next week and give you guys my impressions on it. King Manny. Talking about the Toyota Crown. Is it coming? Yes, the Toyota Crown is... It's not confirmed by Toyota, but with leaks and everything, it's coming this year. And I'll probably give you guys... I'm expecting Toyota to show it at this event. It might be behind closed doors. I'm not quite sure. If it is, and I can't say anything. But I'm expecting a reveal. This is what my gut's telling me, is a reveal of the Crown. The Crown's also, I believe, been showed behind closed doors to dealers as well. So... Apple Aya. Watch videos from the event. Seemed like everyone had a good time. Yeah. Like the Acura Integra event was a lot of fun. A lot of fun. They had a couple really nice restaurants that we ate at, but like... They had ping pong tables set up. I should have taken pictures of it, but ping pong table set up with Acura decals on it. It was super cool. I had a really good time just hanging out with with colleagues and getting my ass smashed in ping pong, especially against Mark from Savage Geese. I did beat John Ikeda in ping pong, but I'm not going to brag about that. I'm not very good. What vehicle do I plan on buying next year? I don't plan on buying a vehicle next year, but we'll see. I might have to. I mean, my van just hit like 177,000 miles. The good old 04 Sienna with radar cruise control on it. It drives so well. I floored the engine the other day to get around like the cement truck while the cones were closing off the lane. Like I was able to like, this old dog still can get up and run every once in a while. So like, there's nothing more beautiful than a no car payment, cheap insurance. But you know, I do thirst for a newer van. I just like can't bring myself to that right now. Have I played Forza Horizon 5? No, but I have for Forza Horizon 4 and 3. The thing with those games, those are such time sucks. Like this is casual, like just come in, go for a race against a computer, and then sign out. The Horizon 4 is like you unlock things. Well, you unlock stuff in here, but like there's so many challenges and quests with that open world. There's lots of different ecosystems. There's a much bigger like online community. I don't want to go down the rabbit hole. I know I'd have a blast, but I don't have time really for video games anymore. I do have a Nintendo Switch, and I do bring it. God, this guy's trying to kill me. I do bring it on my trips when I'm flying for press events. Because flying on an airplane from Florida to California, it's not a short ordeal. Nissan GTR being canceled? No, there's going to be another. They'll never cancel the GTR. I am full-time YouTube, been full-time for about 2 years now. I'm very, very blessed. Thank you guys essentially for making my dream and my hobby a reality. Horizon 5 has Toyota vehicles including Supra and Tacoma TRD Pro. That's pretty baller. What's my take on Model 3 performance? Do you think it's a driver's car? I haven't driven it, so I can't tell you much about it. I know it's powerful. I know it's fast as heck, at least in a straight line. I don't know how well it does tracking. Like if you take it to the track for a few laps, I'm sure the battery gets zapped, and it's probably not good to push the battery that hard for that long. But in terms of everyday drivability, I think it might be okay. I've driven a Model 3 before, and one of my good friends has one. But what I remember from that vehicle is delicious amounts of torque and power distribution. It's fun to drive. It's super loud. Road noise is super loud. Even just talking to someone in that vehicle, it's like an echo chamber, right? With the glass roof. It is not the most comfortable car in that regard, with all the extra noise in it. And it's a pretty harsh ride too. I saw a Model S yesterday with a metallic, like, think Terminator 2 liquid guy, that sort of like reflective metallic decal, or should I say wrap around the whole vehicle. It's like liquid metallic over the whole Model S. I'll probably make a social media post on it, but it's like, just don't get it. Have I been to Daytona? I've driven through Daytona. I haven't been there for any races or big events, unfortunately. or even Bike Week, because I know Bike Week, I'm just driving like butt because I'm answering questions. But yeah, Daytona, I've never been there, like for real, other than just like driving through. Whoa, gosh, you guys have some great questions. Do I take my family press events? I've taken my family once, I believe, and that wasn't that long ago. It was like last November. We just drove to Miami, where Nissan was showing the Z for like the first time to the public, because it was supposed to be at the New York Auto Show or something that got canceled, and so they showed it for the first time to the public at the Miami Auto Show. I didn't go to the Miami Auto Show, but I went to like Nissan's big event for the Z. That key, what was that? Brickell Key in Miami. It was just stunning. So I have some incredible B-roll of the Z and the Proto Spec Z, that cool like neon color, with palm trees, water, boats, skyrises. It was awesome experience. My family came with me for that. This is just across Alligator Alley for me. So we stayed in the Mandarin Oriental. Girls loved it. We kind of had like a slumber party there and visited some friends and family while we were over there, and then came home. Yep. Whenever there's a Honda last time for the Odyssey, when they redesigned the Odyssey, they brought families out to Hawaii. So Honda, if you're listening for the new Odyssey, bring me out to Hawaii. I want to test the new hybrid system or plug-in hybrid, whatever you decide to do with it. I want to be there, and I want to take my family on a really cool adventure. So any new information on the Type R? No, there's no information on it. Coming from KK, those are my initials too, obviously. What am I looking forward to the most at Toyota HQC? I'm just gonna rewind. New RX and what the big Toyota announcement is going to be. It's got to be the Crown, right? So I'm probably equally excited about those things. I'm excited to drive the new Sequoia too, but I know it's going to be like it's going to be just like the Tundra hybrid, right? So it's not a lot of surprises there for me. I'll also get to drive. You know what? Here's another thing that could happen. Last year they had Ken Gushi there. He's like Toyota sponsored professional drifter in the Supra. And he's been doing a lot of the promotional events for the GR Corolla. There's a possibility that he could be driving on Eagles Canyon Raceway, I think that's what it's called, the GR Corolla, and taking press in it. And so I'd be riding shotgun with Ken Gushi in a GR Corolla. The only reason I'm saying this is because last year, before any media drives on the new GR86, Ken Gushi was doing the same thing in that vehicle at Toyota HQC. So I think there's a possibility. There's a possibility. And that vehicle's better suited for continuous lapping, more so than the GR86. So yeah, I think I'm really looking forward to that. More than likely, that's what's going to happen. But don't want to get my hopes too high. Sonata hybrid looks ugly. Yeah, Sonata's kind of ugly, but it drives good for a hybrid. What do I think about VinFast? Haven't done a ton of research into them. So if you guys don't know, VinFast is the Vietnamese electric car maker that's trying to, make it big, be the next startup. We'll see. I don't know enough about them to say like if they're going to succeed or if they're doomed. I know they do some interesting things about batteries. Like I think that might be the company that you don't own the battery, you just kind of like lease the battery or rent the battery. It's pretty wild, but there are pros and cons to that for sure. It's a trap, says hey. How's it going? Time's at 8:30. I'll probably be wrapping up the stream here in like the next 10 minutes. I tested out Lexus Teammate last year on the LS Hybrid. Scared the bejesus out of me. So Joseph, TLX Type S refresh rumors, or to start? The vehicle came out last year. There aren't going to be any TLX Type S refresh rumors for a long time. We'll be waiting. We'll be waiting. Well, I don't know about the next Odyssey second row removability. I would assume so, because Honda's kind of the king of practicality when it comes to interior space, so I would assume that they can have their second row removed. Yes. Could Acura make an Integra Type S with a G2 and K20? I believe so. Crown comes with V12 hybrid. This Integra will be a flop. We'll see. We'll see. I don't think the CVT helps its case. When I asked Acura about the dual clutch, I'm like, hey, what? You have this dual clutch transmission. It's, you know, better than a CVT for a lot of, you know, circumstances. And he's like, well, all I can say is that the 8-speed DCT has been discontinued. So that's all. That's it. End of discussion. So it was not the answer I was wanting, but it is what it is. How much does it look like the Cross Tour in IRL? I don't think it looks like the Cross Tour. But speaking of Cross Tour, I saw an Acura ZDX yesterday. Yeah, the good old ZDX. Is Integra taking part of the Civic production capacity? No. Great question mark. Integra is produced alongside the TLX in Ohio, where the Civic... Gosh, where is the Civic made? It's not in Ohio. It's bad that I can't think off the top of my head. I don't know the Honda plants as well as I do the Toyota plants. I probably should. But yes, they're in completely different states. And so they're not, you know, the production line is different. And that could be another big positive for the Integra. It's like, hey, you're having Acura specific upscale production line, tighter tolerances, higher build quality for the Integra versus the Civic. So Indiana, yes, Indiana, there you go. Indiana is where they make the Civic. I think I'm taking your word for it. No, they didn't say anything about super handling all-wheel drive. Fahim, thanks for joining. Sorry you joined with some sad news about the 8-speed DCT getting thrown in the trash. What's my prediction when the Type S will come out? In less than a year. Or at least be announced in less than a year. But I think Type R comes out this summer or this fall, and then Type S gets announced by the end of this year. This is just my guess. And then Type S is available in the spring. That's just my expectation. Type S available in the spring of 2023. ZDX is well unique. I don't know about the rumor about the MK5 being a stopgap Supra. I don't think that's the case, but we'll see. Well, I'm not going to do another race. I think I'm going to go Gosh, what happens if I do full screen? There we go. I'm a little out of focus. Whatever. The microphone's so huge because it fell off earlier in the stream. It's just kind of like hanging on by a thread. I don't even know how it's standing up right now. Unique child is a TSS sports wagon. Yeah, I think there's one in my neighborhood. It always catches me by surprise when I see it. I think it's a white one. Get your last questions in. I've got a couple minutes left, and then I'm going to hit the sack, get ready for a new day. There's a long video I'm working on, long news update video that probably won't be out tomorrow, but probably the next day. I got a video tomorrow with the Integra CVT driving impressions, and later tomorrow, like around 5:30 p.m. Eastern time, I have a video discussing potentiality of another ISF and an entry-level Lexus crossover thingy. So stay tuned for that. If I had to, would I buy a used 4Runner in the future? Depends on what you want. There's nothing wrong with a 4Runner. It's a very well-built vehicle. It's reliable. Should run forever. 15, 16, 17 miles per gallon though. So I would not be getting a 4Runner anytime soon. All right, guys, I'm shutting it down. Thanks for coming out. It's just a quick live stream. You guys had some really good questions. I don't need these on anymore, by the way. You guys had some really good questions about the Integra. Try to answer some of them in the video that was already up earlier today. There's also another video coming out tomorrow morning, like I said, with the CVT. But I had a lot of fun. Try to do live streams like once a month. It is quite enjoyable for me, but I am getting tired. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you're watching and you're new to the channel, I cover mainly Asian cars. So if you like that, make sure to subscribe. If you guys haven't hit the like button, go ahead and do that. And if Jake, if you're still watching, thanks for the $2. Thank you. And I'll catch you guys in another video in another time. Have a good night wherever you are. Good day wherever you're at in the world. See you in the next one. Peace out.